Recording again.
And we're back with the Steph Oddcast with a small break. We was talking about Tekken, the best 3D fighter
Ever.
and we can pick it back up with Paul. Personally, when you was fighting Rob or fighting both of either Alan and I, what was your first strategy to go? We've been playing for years, and you just came after us. What was your plan?
Relentless onslaught of strikes.
And that's exactly what you should do.
And because that's what Forrest is good at.
Mm-hmm.
He's good at just throwing shit at you constantly.
Yeah, play to your character's strengths.
And that's what when I first came in, that's what I wanted to do, was just like punch, kick, because I didn't really know what was going on.
Right.
So it was just punch and kick as often as possible and slowly learn moves.
Right.
Which is the same
I tried
way
to teach
plan
you
on
as much as I could
taking
too.
on Dragunov.
Yeah.
Which is just use what I know
Right.
will work and slowly figure out things past that.
Yeah, that's how I learned my character. My first
and
character.
It was like, what, one of your 80?
Well, I was like, I came in at Tekken 3.
Me too.
And it, like, I just got...
For the record, I came in at Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Which
You
is
came
the
in at a
number.
rough spot, dude, in a way. But actually, that's the
8th.
best built one.
That's the 8th game
Yeah.
that's been released.
8th game
These
that's
guys have been playing since
the third
I
game.
came
Yeah.
in the 8th.
Yeah.
And I hold my own goddamn occupied.
No,
Yeah.
dude, you did great.
No,
You did fantastic. I'm glad you got on board because we needed people to play.
Well, but what's good about Tekken, though, is like, they leave the combo opportunities in there. Like, say you had a character, say, in Tekken 3 or 4, you could still use mostly the same combo if you picked it up in Tekken Tag 2. Until you learn other stuff, until you learn the new stuff.
Right.
It's like they didn't take anything away from you.
Well, my thing was I came from nothing.
Right.
Right.
And so my strategy with Forrest was the same strategy as I would see Bruce Lee fighting with,
Sure.
which was
Use what works.
barrage your enemy lightning fast and don't give him a chance to breathe.
Sure.
Now that I've played Tekken a little bit, I understand that's not entirely what it's about.
Right.
No, it's very mathematical in a way.
Now that I'm moving on to Dragunov,
Mhm.
I see that with Dragunov, it's a totally different game.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the game.
Every character is a different game.
Exactly.
Every time you switch characters, it's like playing a new game.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's what
And
makes it so much fucking fun.
Every time you play a new player as the same character,
They
It's a
use
different game.
They use different
like
moves,
Rob,
different
Rob and
strategies.
I play Dragunov entirely different.
different.
Yeah.
Me and Rob played
And
Devil
so it's
Jin
like-
totally
it's-
different
Yeah.
too.
It's like playing someone complete, or Alan plays Marshall, and I play Marshall too.
Differently, completely
Well,
different.
I mean,
playing
yeah, it's like
completely
making a
different.
sandwich, man. Some people start from the bottom up. Some people start from the top
Right.
up. You know,
Right,
it's,
right.
it's
You want the
just-
mayonnaise
some
or the cheese
people-
on top, Alan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people put chips on them, and some people put them
Right.
on the side.
I think
Sure.
what turns people off on this game, and this is an honest to God truth, I
Okay.
believe.
Lazy.
Well, not only that, they're going to play. They see the people involved in the storyline. They'll pick up Jin or Kazuya and Hayachi,
Okay.
and they're not necessarily easy to pick up.
No, the machinists are the hardest to
Yeah,
learn.
They're
very
absolutely, they're
but they
brutal.
do
But they're
have
the best.
cheaty moves. Though.
They do
They
have some
do,
cheaters.
but the input, like the timing you have to input the one cheating
It's
move they all
ridiculous.
have is absurd.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get anything for free
No.
with those characters. And I can say that from the fact that Rob tried to teach me to play Kazuya one night when I had a couple of them.
Sure.
And
You weren't staggering though.
and it was still hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun
No.
to learn. It's something
Yoshi
you gotta
wasn't
do-
fun either at first.
It's something you gotta do sober, and that's what I'm getting into with Dragunov. It's something I gotta learn.
Yeah.
And with Forrest, it came naturally.
Right.
It's like his command list just like that. The buttons that you press should do that.
His
Like,
speed
It makes
Well,
sense.
is nice.
Like
Also, yes.
I kind of have three
I
characters.
get confused with Dragunov sometimes because I think he's fast and he's not.
No, he's not. I kind of have three characters, and they all represent a different thing. It's like Leo is the one like I naturally gravitate towards. It's the one that fits my nature the best. Kazuya,
Yeah, I would say
I'm the
that.
best with him because I put the most time into him. And I use Dragunov a lot because while I'm not particularly skilled, he's the one that I want to be the best with, but I never will be.
There's a
I
lot of
think
characters. That's a
that-
lot of characters that kind of.
Now, Case, you haven't
Yeah.
talked or waxed philosophical about your characters, but you picked up the grapplers, the wrestlers.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Well,
Which
I
was-
first started off with Tekken 3, I played as Eddie Gordo just because
Yeah, I remember that.
that was a feat in motion captioning at the time.
Sure.
He was crazy.
And
still is.
Horog. Everyone plays
It's
Horog.
Horog.
That's the default fucking way. And
JD took me on. No shit. This is how crazy
I
JD
actually
is.
refuse to play as Horon.
Well, I have a story. Let me finish this.
Go ahead,
Let me
dude.
finish
Sorry.
this.
Go ahead.
Just because that was an accessible character. Then Rob was like, plays Bag. He's more technical. He has a parry. I was like,
Yeah.
I'd have picked up Bag. Then I'm such a huge fan of wrestling, man.
Oh yeah. Well, you know.
So I picked up King, then I started learning fucking chain grapples, which I thought was like a natural fucking thing that every
It's
Tekken
not.
person knew.
No. Not at all. Like, if
That
you pick up
is
King or Armor King,
ridiculous.
you're playing a different game than everyone
Well,
else
now,
except maybe one of the Williams
If
sisters.
Dragunov had a chain grapple, he would be
Just absurd.
unfair.
It'd be absurd.
I like
Yeah.
JC though.
I
was a Julia
He
fan.
does have a two, it's not a chain
A strike
grapple.
into a grapple.
No, he has a, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's strike.
But I will
Need
tell you
to-
this,
Yeah.
guys. You will
to
spend
2, 4,
maybe
3, 1.
weeks, maybe a couple months learning these chain grapples. But dude, when you're in a match with someone,
Yeah,
You'll
one
never
button
use
posts
them.
it up.
yeah, well, because you kind of get excited. It's like, oh, I got the
Oh
first,
shit!
I got the first two pieces.
Yeah.
Then you kind of get excited. The only time I ever landed a chain grapple against an opponent was online
Oh, dude, that was epic.
against a
No,
Paul
you've done it
player.
against me.
Oh well, you know.
Well, this ironically it was a Paul player, and this
Yeah.
guy was up on the leaderboards type shit. He was like top 30,
yeah.
and he was kicking some serious ass because
Well,
Paul is retardedly powerful. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
it's
say
like
that.
one
Well, he's a
punch
risk.
per
He's a
percent.
risk versus reward character.
He's
I hate
boring
Paul.
as fuck to learn. I think he's
Is this
really
meta?
boring.
What?
Is this meta?
It,
Okay.
Yeah.
it could be. I don't know. This is.
I hate Paul.
No. We're breaking the
And
fourth
the
wall.
reason why is because he's a tank.
He's B tier.
He's slow.
Sluggish.
I know.
Who are we speaking of?
And
Paul-
he's-
Paul Phoenix.
Paul
Yeah,
Phoenix.
okay.
And
Let's
he's,
make sure.
he's
Yeah.
slow. He's sluggish.
Tekken
And-
style.
And
'cause
when
he
the
has a high
computer plays
flavor.
as him, he's S tier. And
I'll disagree. He
oh bullshit, he's fast as fuck.
the only person that they changed the frames on is June in Tekken Tag
That's
2.
horse shit. I don't believe that. I mean, I know you know your shit. And
Okay.
I'm not disputing that.
All
one
right, all
bit,
right.
But I don't believe that.
A human player doesn't always know what you're inputting. The computer will always know what you're inputting.
The computer,
but,
the AI on Tekken
but
is
they
also
don't
sharp.
speed up his frames. They do June's, but not his.
June's clearly sped up.
Oh yeah, so is
Yeah, June's awful. Like,
And
as a
The
player.
thing about Paul is that
I know because I play her.
it's like
Didn't John play as Paul?
Yes.
John's
he'll
a
do
really
move
good
with
Paul player.
and he'll backstep and then forward punch, and that's all that matters because that's all he needs. Because that takes like 45% of your health. It's
retarded.
Stupid. It's
He also
ridiculous.
he also has a great throw game and a good low game.
There's 3 characters in this
When
game.
I play
though.
people that play as Paul,
Mhm.
as Forrest, they're done. Like, before the match ever starts, they're done. And the reason for that is because by the time they, like, draw back
Mhm.
to punch,
I've
already punched them 8 times.
Sure.
And
I think it really does boil down to how many times none of us play as Paul. So
I tried.
When we see a
Yeah, I
Paul
tried
player,
too.
It's
we-
alien to us.
yeah,
'cause
we were
don't
like, what
play
the fuck?
character.
And we lose.
I tried,
we just
I
lose.
tried to play as Paul. I went through his command list and I learned a lot of, like, I
lot of
didn't
his-
learn him as a character, but I was familiar with him. And
Played
here's
with
the thing
Tekken
about him. Here's the thing about him. Go into a match, get handled. Because you're slow.
That's the way when I started playing as Hachi.
So if you use
It's
deception,
the same thing.
It's like when you hit hard, but you're slow.
I like my
as the earth moving. Like
Yeah.
tectonic
You got
plates
to know your
slow.
character, man. You got to know your
yeah,
character.
it's like he's a high risk, high reward character.
Yeah, and if you take a risk, then any character that's faster than you and is a
You're
decent player
fucked.
will punch you
No,
in the face.
he has an attack reversal. He has good lows to overcome that.
And that's where the beauty of Tekken is the command list.
He's
Yeah,
versatile.
that's the difference.
Yeah, if you're really...
How good are you at using your strength and...
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
shitty at Paul.
Yeah.
Most people are.
It's
They
like,
really
I'm not
are.
great with Heihachi. There's a reason I don't play him.
I'm a speed character.
I like Heihachi.
Yeah, you can love a character. You can love the aesthetic
concept
of
Like
and
the
everything.
character.
Feng Wei is a character I would love to learn, but I have no natural rhythm with. I can't use him.
Let's
it's
talk
just
about
not there.
let's talk about the
tried.
character that no one's going to master. Let's be honest, is Lei Wulong.
Yeah, no, he's like.
I
it's
think that
impossible.
Mocha Jin and
There's
Lei
like 7 or 8
Wulong,
I
stances.
think he's probably the best character in the game.
we just
No.
don't know it.
His risk versus reward is awful, even among higher tier players.
But man, I got my
But,
ass
what
beat.
was
You have
it,
you have
Marduk?
confusion on yourself.
When Casey, you were telling me one time, what was it? Marduk was D tier,
No, he's A tier.
or
Well,
it may not be
Marduk is consistently A
It was,
tier.
it was some
Well,
character
what
that
it
was
was- what it was-
consistently lower tier.
Yes,
But someone learned how to use them when they brought him up. Like
Bottom
that
up.
was that was
They
Gunjack,
discovered a
that was
punish.
Gunjack 6. That was the
They
character.
discovered a
There
punish
you go.
that he had that no one picked up on, and they're like, well, he has a punish on a
So
something.
it raised him like 3
Yeah.
tiers.
Yes.
And-
All right, I'm convinced that Lei Wulong is probably the best character in the game because he's got so much.
I'd say Devil Jin's the best character in the game.
There you go. Alan and I was talking about that earlier.
I love Devil Jin.
He can punish. He can defend,
He's-
punish. He can be aggressive. He has a projectile which shouldn't even be in Tekken.
He kind of has a fake out too.
Yeah, he has fake outs. You can play him any way you want.
I love Devil Jin. When
However,
I picked
his
him up,
his main thing is passive aggressive style.
exactly.
I don't fear Devil Jin at all though.
He still has a
Okay.
hitbox though, and this is the
That
reason why I don't fear him
doesn't
either.
change the fact that he's technically superior.
He's fun. I think he's a lot of fun just because he's the devil, you know. But and the
A
thing
lot
is,
of it has to do with like the style in which I don't know shit about Devil Jin,
Kind of style.
but the gangsta style.
100%
They,
style.
that you have to put the commands in.
hmm
If it's something that flows easier,
he does have a couple that's
then
very
then
easy.
then the character is going to be easier to play in naturally higher tier, and the reason for it is the human factor.
What's the name of the
Now,
name of the
when-
combo?
When
It's
you put in
sorry.
when you take the human factor out and as if a PC was playing them all the time.
Devil Jin would be the best.
Right, but you have to assume that people have to move.
Right.
And
Human or computer, Devil Jin's the best.
He's
you know
pretty
more
awesome.
about the game, so I'm going to go ahead.
Well,
and say that
well,
you're
I'm
right.
just.
I like playing it.
Except maybe people like a lot of the Korean players will say Bruce is the best. Just
Bruce
because
is
his
pretty nasty.
his knees and elbows are
Oh,
Cannot be
and
parried.
holy
Yeah.
fuck! If you're in a wall stage,
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
he's
He
triple
goes
S
up a
tier.
tier. Yeah, he goes
Yeah.
up a tier if you're in it.
Because he
See,
can
and that-
punish
and
the
that's
fuck out of
That's
your
the
ass.
thing about that I don't agree with the tier system. They should be
Depends on where we're fighting.
Yeah, your tier should not be determined on where you're fighting.
But isn't it interesting that the game is so deep and so complex that even the developers and the tournament people who set these things up will change tiers just because they discover something?
yeah,
I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing
And
because
that's why it's so good, and that's why you can sit around and you can talk about it all day.
exactly because
Yeah.
one day someone's going to discover something with
Like Bayek or something,
or-
or make him triple S.
yeah,
Right.
and they're like, hey, check this out. He punishes on the back
Someone's
1, 2,
gonna
3 or
make Dan
something.
Ryu the best character.
Yeah,
in the
well,
game.
like, but the thing is, no,
Yeah,
no
there you go.
character-
That's the beauty
That
of
was
Tekken.
directed that was said directly toward Casey.
But
Hey
it's
man, I
but
play as
that's the
characters
thing,
that
though,
piss,
you can,
piss people
like,
off.
But like Dan
He's
Ryu,
annoying.
he's like B or C tier, but like you can make him good.
Yeah,
Like you
because
can win with
frustrate your opponent.
yeah, you can win with any character.
Well, see, that's why I like my poke and mix 'em up so much. With Yoshimitsu and Ling Xiaoyu, both poke and mix 'em ups and stance oriented.
Sure.
I realize that Yoshi does have an answer for pretty much everything, and
Yeah, you just have to know. Like, he's kind of like Feng Wei, except Feng Wei is way more powerful.
it's
But it's like Yoshimitsu has an answer to everything.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
but you have to
to
know
study.
everything.
That's the only reason why I got into him. It's like, dude, this is because he's alien to me. He's very alien.
Sure.
He's a swordsman.
I always thought he was an interesting character.
I always liked
Yeah.
him back in the day.
His like weird space Japanese
Samurai
Robin
ninja,
Hood. Yeah,
Robin Hood. Yeah, I like the story.
His weird space samurai Robin Hood.
But I hate it that
That's a ninja.
Kanemitsu isn't part of the canon because
She
I,
died in the can.
I know, and I really really, really like her. I think that's my favorite of that style. I love her style. I like the daggers, and she also has good strikes when she wants to. And, you know...
Well, it made her good on purpose for tag, too.
Yeah, like June, too, because she was requesting, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
like, June was always okay. Kunimitsu was bottom tier.
Yeah.
Until Tekken Tag 2. When
she sucked in the first Tekken Tag tournament, I think.
She sucked in Tekken 1. She sucked in Tekken 2. She sucked in Tekken Tag.
Because it was
She was awful in all of
They've
them.
really done a very good job of making her interesting. The only reason why I was really interested in Tekken Tag 2 that she was involved is because I knew Yoshimitsu very well.
Sure.
And I needed someone I
They
can
had a
tag
history,
with.
yeah.
And, you know, but now I'm starting to come into a whole... And we've had this game literally for 2 years, and now I'm getting into tag throws. I'm getting into understanding punishes and your risk versus reward with some combos.
Sure.
And the Mishima's, or Meshima, whatever style, I'm starting to understand.
Hey, it's a Mishima.
Well, all the Mishimas play, or Mishima,
I
it depends on which game it is.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard the announcer call them
I like
everything.
calling Devil Jean, because it represents
It's
the
a
Devil
joke on-
Jin.
yeah.
I used to joke with you about that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you play as Jin, and therefore, maybe, I think it's
I'm
a couple
learning
months,
Jin right now.
You drink Jin. I was like, hey, you drinking your fucking favorite character.
I still do sometimes.
Oh.
But, all right, like, the thing about the Mishimas, or Mishimas, is they all play, they all represent a single style, but they all play different. It's like, Heihachi, he's pure aggression.
Yeah.
Jin is somewhere in the middle, and Kazuya's straight defense.
Jin is interesting, too, as well, because, like I was talking to you...
They were pushing him like the new Michael Jordan, though, of fucking Tekken.
But he's
Tekken
hard.
3, though.
He's hard as fuck to learn.
Yeah.
He does have some mashies with 1-2, but you know whatever 1-2-1-2 or 2-1-2 at the same time.
Kazuya's the hardest one to use. Out of all of them.
I think in
learning
Tekken
him.
6, personally, I think he's the hardest to use in Tekken 6. I just personally,
Yeah.
that's just my...
But when we play online, dude, there was some Kazuya players, Rob. Man,
Well,
you
no,
should have took them on.
Kazuya's like the second best in the game if you know him.
Mm-hmm.
But to be effective as Kazuya, you have to know every other character because
Right.
he's straight defense. It's like Kazuya has an answer to everything that's thrown at him.
Right.
But if your opponent just like sits still and just like doesn't do anything, you don't have a lot to go on. All right. He was an interesting character before Tekken
Here's
4.
Kazuya's weakness. Counterattack.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah, that's no secret. He's straight defense.
defensive,
So if you
yeah.
play the same style as he does, you might beat him.
But when he goes into Devil thing, that's baller as fuck, though. That shows knowledge
Here's
of the
his
character.
weakness in Devil. He has about a frame or two that after he goes into Devil, free whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't ever use it just because of that.
Yeah. Like that special tag?
It's just really neat that it's there.
Yeah,
It's
cool that
there.
it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the 1-inch punch is there, but you don't see me using it very often.
Oh.
I've hit people with it with Marshall. I've
Just,
hit fools with it.
but yeah, they sucked.
all right, guys. This is
I
gonna.
think you've hit me with it.
We're gonna switch.
I don't know.
We're gonna switch gears a little bit on
All
on the Oddcast. WrestleMania 30. That's a big
I'm
deal.
out.
I don't
I'll
blame
talk
you.
to you.
We should be out of it, but we're
It's
gonna
like,
bitch
I
about it.
mentioned Weeby and Reverse Compatible of 2004 earlier.
Yes,
Right?
with the Wii U.
Yes, WrestleMania is also a 2004
It's literally
compatible.
the same card.
Well, it's supposed to be a nostalgia
About.
machine, but like, do you remember back in
They're
about
doing
10
really,
years ago?
they're doing really awful with it though.
Stone
You only have-
Well,
E.T.
when the yeah
trying to get some burgers from the drive-through.
well when
That's all
the
I'm
Attitude
saying.
Era ran out, nostalgia ran out because like, to be honest, it's like, man, if your nostalgia comes from the time when like, I don't want to be like sound like a jerk or anything, but it's like, you know, if Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero, if you're looking back to those times of like a really
Don't you say a foul fucking word about Eddie Guerrero. I'll come across this goddamn table.
he is a great mid-carder, but he turned the belt back into Vince McMahon himself after he became
He's-
champion and said, I can't carry the company. And he was legit enough about it.
Yeah, that's
therefore
cool.
have to
He's always been.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not saying he wasn't a good dude. He was a company man, but
He was a great man.
even he realized, like, I might not be what's the best for the company. And it's like, we're looking back on a time when a guy with a Godsmack tattoo on his
Looking
belly
back on a
button
time when
Yes.
Eddie
was just given a
Guerrero was
push
king of the
because he was Triple H's best friend.
Of course. And that's what's going on now. That's what kind of ruins it for me.
See, and I think Triple H is a smart dude. He has good ideas, but it's just we can't get out in wrestling.
Except for being a part of Blade 3, that was a bad idea.
Oh, come on. He had a poodle, man. Go ahead.
I have to piss.
In the world of wrestling, like we can all agree probably that nostalgia is a huge part of it.
Yes.
But if we're drawing from nostalgia from a part where nobody really liked the product, then we're ultimately failing. What we need to do is build new people.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's like wrestling should not be so dependent on nostalgia as should be building a new product. It'd be the equivalent of, like, say, a car company. It came out with, like, its 1987 model.
Dodge Dart.
A Dodge Dart, 1987 Dodge Dart out of nowhere. And just like, hey, guys, you remember this, right? Right, wrestling has gone from making new stars, like, say, in the 80s and 90s. There's a lot of memorable stars. Even the mid-carders, we have, like, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Mm-hmm. We have Junkyard Dog. We have, like...
Hercules.
Hercules. These are the mid-guys, but you remember them because they had character. What we have now is a bunch of guys that come in and get beat by part-timers just because, like, people will remember somebody like Brock Lesnar. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge...
I love Brock Lesnar.
Can I throw something in there?
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead.
As someone that, you know my exposure to wrestling because you have supplied all of it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And here's what I'm going to say about wrestling.
All right.
Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rock
They made it.
They made it happen.
Are the only thing that matters, almost, in wrestling.
Okay.
Today or like 13 years
Well, I
ago?
understand why.
Overall.
Well,
and this is from someone that wasn't a wrestling.
They sold the most shirts. You can look in the audience now and see Steve Austin and The Rock shirts. You can see the money they're still generating.
Well, they do generate money.
It's
Still
a business.
the most fun to watch.
That's true.
Sure.
They were very fun to watch.
When I watched the Stone Cold matches and I watched the Rock matches, or even where the Rock was just commentating.
Sure.
Or something like that.
He would commentate his own match.
Yeah, damn right he did, against Steve Austin.
Yeah.
That was fun for me to watch. Like, because they're good actors, they can sell it, they know what's going on, and it's like they knew how to put on a show. Sure,
okay.
That's what it is.
Okay, what we're talking about. Okay, WrestleMania 30 is supposed to be a nostalgia machine, right?
Right, to sell the network.
Yes.
But there's nothing nostalgic about the card I'm going to read off to you, sir.
Okay.
There's only maybe two things might be nostalgic to any wrestler.
All right.
Wrestling fan.
Right. All right.
Okay.
I'm listening.
The pre-show is a tag team three-way, pretty much.
Okay.
Actually, it's a fucking four-way. It's crazy. It's the Uzos, really good tag team, versus the Real Americans, which is Jack Swagger and Cesaro. He's very over.
I like Cesaro. They're good wrestlers, but they're just not good on the mic.
No,
there you
terrible.
Go.
Awful.
Okay, Ryback which is Ryback, and Curtis Axel, which is Kurt Henningson.
I want Curtis Axel to be great,
but he's not. He's not getting there. And it's versus Los Matadors.
I know who they are.
They just pulled these guys
out of their
nowhere.
ass.
They showed up on the wall.
That's a pre-show match. Okay.
All right.
Okay. This opening match at WrestleMania.
What's the opening on the card?
It's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, with all the other wrestlers like Dolph Ziggler, The Big Show, The Miz, Zack Ryder, Titus O'Neil,
guys that should be in
the mid-carders.
Yeah.
Every other wrestler that was not gonna make it.
All right.
Okay. So far, only thing's nostalgic is Andre the Giant.
His name being brought
bring
up.
up his name.
Yes.
Okay. The pre-main event apparently is a 6-man tag match, which is The Shield versus Kane and the New Age Outlaws.
Where did that come from?
Your
nostalgia.
Guess is
there you go. That's another nostalgia.
Attitude Era nostalgia.
Sure. Yeah. And the main, there's also the Daniel Bryan versus Triple H match.
We know how this is gonna go.
Well, Triple H is a great talent, but like, he really shouldn't be wrestling anymore because he's calling the shots. Mm-hmm. It's like they should have like built something else for Daniel Bryan to fight against. I know they're trying to call forth for the whole, the old Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon stuff. They're trying to
get that going.
Yeah, they're trying to generate that feeling.
No one will ever beat the Rattlesnake. don't stink.
Yeah, but there's a difference, though, and I can tell you what the difference is. It's not in Daniel Bryan. He's just as over as any wrestler has ever been.
Ever.
The difference is in Triple H. You can't bury Vince McMahon, but
That's true.
you can bury Triple H.
Here's the
That's
difference. Here's the difference.
It's 100% true.
I don't know who this other motherfucker is, but I don't know who Stone Cold is.
I get where you're coming from.
Okay.
Okay.
Just really quick.
Because I'm not a wrestling fan.
I'm a Daniel
And the people
Bryan
that aren't
fan.
the fans, those are the ones that are going to make the ratings.
And I know that.
That's
And
true.
I don't know who this other guy is, but I fucking know who
But
Stone
if
Cold
you
is.
paid attention to wrestling in the past year,
If you
you
were
would
into
know who Daniel Bryan is because he is the most over wrestler
Yeah.
in this whole era.
Yeah.
Period.
He's a big dude.
Yes.
He's really over. You don't have to necessarily like his wrestling
Yeah, I
style,
don't get it at all.
but he's over as fuck.
Yeah, he sells T-shirts. I'd put a belt on him.
Okay, so
Yeah.
back to this.
All right.
The winner between Daniel Bryan and Triple H will face in a three-way between Randy Orton, the champion,
Okay.
versus Bautista, however you want to pronounce
Two
that.
heels
Sure.
already.
Triple H.
2 heels.
I'm willing
And
to put
Randy
$20
Orton-
on that'll be Triple H right now.
No, he'll put Daniel Bryan over.
You think so?
Because it'd be better for business.
Okay, see.
Oh yeah, part of the authority.
Only reason I will just throw a 2 cents of an argument against that is Triple H has lost. Actually, he's lost to the Undertaker. Won against Brock Lesnar, so maybe it's up in the air.
Brock
Maybe
Lesnar.
he should. Maybe he should win.
He's a monster.
See, I think
Yeah, I
I
know,
would
but
like to
he
think
really
that Triple
can
H is a
fucking-
smart enough businessman to see like this dude's over. Like
Low
Vince
reps, high
McMahon always lost his feuds against people. He would always get his.
Right.
And Triple H has kind of assumed the Vince McMahon role, like the evil corporate guy.
Yes.
And so I think Triple H is smart enough to lay down for Daniel Bryan and then like put him to championship status because the fans are just clamoring for it.
Yeah, it's so.
I would like to think he's smart enough to do that.
Just to get a little bit of perspective here, this
He was in Blade 3 and
This-
therefore stupid.
No, hey, Paul, if somebody offered you millions of dollars to be in Blade 3, would you be in it? I'd be grinning every day. It's like I'm sitting there, I'm counting my stacks of hundreds.
Here's
Like
what I do.
Leslie Snipes is
I'd
gonna
take
kick
the
me in the
money,
face.
And then every chance I get, I would slam the movie.
Jake
I would.
Lloyd did
If they were just like, hey, here's some more money, go promote the movie. I'd wear a suit. I'd be on some talk shows. Like, no, man, it's awesome. I'd lie to everybody.
Once I make
yeah.
make the money, I'm a simple man.
Here's
Once I make the money and I can buy my little car.
I'm
my
getting
little
back to
house,
the,
and my
yeah.
little
I'm
trailer.
talking. Yeah. Go ahead.
well, okay, back on track here. What's kind of fucked up was this past Monday's Raw. They had Randy Orton versus Bautista as their main event in an ODQ match.
So that makes sense. I can tell you why. Because the other shows aren't putting like their pay-per-view main events for free. If they're like the mindset will be if they're gonna do that for their main event, like on a free show, what are they gonna do at WrestleMania, the grandest stage of the night?
I see what you're saying there.
Yeah, it's just like
But here's my logic with WWE is anything you think would be a smart move ends up turning out to be a dumb ass move.
that's why Vince McMahon's a millionaire.
I know, but he isn't running.
No, he's a billionaire. Actually.
He's a billionaire. Yeah, since it went
My
public.
mistake.
Yeah.
That's why he's a billionaire.
Royal
because he
Rumble.
only makes bad decisions.
Royal Rumble was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever seen.
Yeah,
go
that was
down.
bad. So they had to make
Yeah,
up for this
Yeah, but
pretty hard.
I think they're going to though. Vince McMahon's still behind the scenes, and I think Triple H. He's a smart dude.
Right.
Like he knows something's gone.
That's
wrong.
why I think as a long-term rollout.
Okay.
I'm just saying hypothetically.
Okay.
I'm just saying hypothetically, Triple H does win, and he fights all his buddies from Evolution, and whatever. Then the title bout goes that way. I know. It sounds bad. Then you're like,
He'll
man.
give it to Randy Orton then.
Then you wait for Extreme Rules. Maybe that's when you give it to.
Okay,
Daniel
hold
Bryan.
on.
I'm just saying
Here's something I wanna
hypothetically,
point out.
playing for both sides. I know
Okay,
Daniel
all right.
Bryan's going to win.
Yes.
I'm just saying hypothetically. I'm just saying if it did roll out that way,
Okay.
maybe it's more of a long-term rollout. Than,
Randy Orton would win.
Okay, here's something I want to point out.
Okay.
I never hear about wrestling anywhere but in this circle.
That's true
Yes,
because it sucks.
Because it's not the late '90s.
Yeah, it
it's
sucks.
100%.
And
Yeah,
therefore,
it's
I
nothing
just,
to talk about.
I'd be willing to put money on the fact that wrestling fans are wrong.
Yeah, it's true.
I won't discount their ability, man. Because like right now, all right, I can tell you.
And here's the thing. Like you guys have followed it.
I haven't.
And you know the way
Not
that
a
it
lot.
should go.
Yes.
Right.
I'm willing to put money against the fact it doesn't go that way.
All right, I can tell you what happened though in wrestling, and it's a smart move. It's just you have to think out decades ahead, and I can tell you what's happening right now. Like when we were growing up, like the product was PG. Like back during the days of Jake the Snake,
And
Razor
Hulk Hogan,
Ramon,
yeah.
all those people. Then they capitalized on us being just like, hey, they're kind of growing up. Let's have the Attitude Era. Okay, it's like so we have a lot of young adults watching this stuff. Then they get to the post-Attitude Era. I think it's Ruthless Aggression
Yes,
Era with like Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko.
Well, it was mainly a lot of people credit
Post-invasion.
Edge, and,
Edge Christian,
yeah,
the Hardy
and-
Boys, all those people. All right, what happened there? People like in the age group started having kids, so that's why they went to the PG era to just kind of reset and just kind of start over.
Right.
Because we've moved on. Like people our age have usually moved on to something else.
Right.
Yeah.
I did.
So
Like
so
Chops and
why not try to get the kids' attention again and kind of follow the same pattern? I know in like a 5,
Because
7.
kids are still watching SpongeBob when they're in high school.
That's sad.
SpongeBob's
that's
funny
the
though.
truth.
It's a funny show.
I've never seen it.
It's really funny.
So-
I heard it'll make you gay.
Oh right. I remember that shit. Yeah. Because SpongeBob and Patrick are like some
If I
pseudo
could
gays.
get Patrick's arm into my asshole, I'd never
damn.
leave the house.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Let's edit that out.
No, we're keeping that in.
Well, here's something
Paul just
interesting
said
about.
if he could have Patrick's arm in his asshole, he'd do it. Don't edit that out. No matter what he edits out.
Here's the interesting thing.
Get Patrick Starr's ass.
Patrick's.
Get Patrick Starr's asshole.
He's a
into yours.
starfish anyways. Come on.
Well,
If
if
he's
you,
got suction cups, he probably gives the best blowjob on the fucking planet.
but he's too stupid to. That's he's so
No,
dumb.
see, I understand Rob's point, 100%. And
Yeah.
also, what
You
I
ever seen
understand
Nate
is there's too many people dying,
Suck it.
too much going on with the steroids. They got to clean the fucking
There
shit.
is
Right.
something
Well,
going on.
but also
Clean it
look
up.
at It's like
Clean it
people
up.
our age. It's like most people
You
our
want to
age.
make it awesome? Here's what you do to make wrestling awesome. I'll start watching it tomorrow.
Okay.
Religiously.
Guns.
No.
Shoot people.
Just bring people into the ring. Still get the wrestling thing going on. The whole it's a show.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
understand that. I don't expect it to be real. That's not like my.
It used to be
But
years
bring
and
in
years
there.
and years
Give
and
them a
years
little
and
bit
years.
of MMA training. A little bit. Like,
Oh, that will ruin it.
No.
That will
Follow
ruin
me
it.
on
100%
this.
ruin it, dude.
Follow me on this.
There's plenty of wrestlers that
I'm
have
listening.
MMA
I'm listening
wrestling,
to
man.
you. I'll listen.
Give them a little bit. Enough to make it.
Legit.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about two sweaty dudes. like
UFC
Oddcast
is
crap.
just as fucking
That's-
fake as fucking WWE, man. You
I
gotta
agree.
break
but
the
you
bubble,
underst-
man.
You have to understand, I'm coming from British Jiu-Jitsu on a military base.
Right.
That's fighting.
Where's the show in that? Where's the spectacle?
Yeah, and that's what
Have
wrestling
you,
is.
ever
A show. It's a
watched-
spectacle.
have you ever watched that? Have you
What?
ever been on a base where people that know Jiu-Jitsu are fighting?
I
It's a
would
better
probably be
show
bored
than
to
anything
tears.
That's on TV right
I'll
now.
probably like, oh man, he's laying down and he's gonna choke him.
Yeah, it's not like that at all. Like we're punching each other in the face, we're kicking each other in the ribs. It's a fight, and that's what people like. When you go to a bar and a fight breaks out,
You want to see a fight?
everyone wants to watch it, and it's like, all right, so give them a little bit of MMA training. And quit making them pussies.
They're not pussies, dude. That's the. You gotta understand this.
Well,
Paul.
it is a little pussy now because they have tamed
I don't
their
want to watch
product.
35 minutes of talking.
You talking about
and-
UFC? Fucking
No.
is
No, I'm
pussy,
talking about
and
wrestling.
also wrestling is pussy too.
Dude, it is.
In a way, but at least with
Amazing
WWE,
athletes.
they're fucking upfront with their bullshit. Like, yeah, we're faking.
We're faking it.
UFC's like, we're faking it, but you don't know.
I don't want to come across as someone that's for UFC because it's bullshit.
I appreciate all good
So
athletes.
but they're all good.
There you go. That should be the bottom line.
I think they're
And
all
I agree
good.
with
Good-
you
good
know,
athletes, that's all they
they're
are.
all good athletes.
If
But
they can
I'm not
stay
saying
steady.
that the UFC is a real. I'm saying like legit. Like just give them a little bit. Just,
I know
just
what you're
let them
saying.
learn a little bit of technical fighting, to make it look I mean, remotely real.
You're talking about Japanese wrestling.
Well,
Is what that is.
the interesting
wrestling is
fact,
that.
what you're seeing in pro wrestling is
really
the future
fucking
of
kick,
all
fucking
televised
get down on it.
sports. Because pro wrestling, or wrestling, is the oldest sport known to man. In fact, the Egyptian on the hieroglyphs had all these Greco-Roman stuff.
They had a fucking collar elbow lockup.
But the first United States professional wrestling champion in the United States was Abraham Lincoln. It's weird.
That's a heavy
to
thought.
think.
If I'm gonna watch a fight on TV, like a real fight, then I want people to be versed in how to fight.
Boxing's
A
interesting.
lot of the new wrestlers are. Ladies and gentlemen, we are hitting the end of the mark. We're about to say our send-off phrases. I'd just like to say, Paul, it's been really delicious talking to you
Well, this
again.
is not the first. Technically,
I'm just saying again, Rob Davis, it's been a real pleasure having you on
I
the.
appreciate you having me on, man.
yeah, man. Hopefully, we can do this again.
Yeah, we'll come up with different subjects, man. It'll be funny.
We're just going to close it out just real quick. What do you expect from 2014, Paul Roberts?
I expect to work a lot because I'm gonna do that. But in I'm gonna buy a new motorcycle this year,
Okay.
and I am going to set everything in motion, which I've already done actually, to buy a new car this year. I'm also going to set something in motion to just improve my overall quality of life.
There you go. That's the bottom line, right?
That's
That's the
the
bottom
bottom
line.
line of the whole thing.
'cause
Improve my
Stone Cold
overall
said
quality
so.
of life. Move from. Not that I'm degrading it. Don't.
I know.
But I'm going to move from my low-income Drakesboro heritage, which I respect and will carry with me forever, because it's a good place to come from.
Okay. Yes.
Could be worse, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
It could be.
Cleton.
But yeah, right?
Yeah, let's shit on Cleton
And
while we're at it.
goddamn, I'm half between the two.
Yeah, he's not boy.
But not that there's anything wrong with it at all. But I'm gonna move up into. I'm gonna show them that someone that is from that halfway point
Can make it.
can make it and do well.
Sure.
But when the doors are locked and it's all over, it's time to party.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, it's time to party.
Rob
every
Davis,
It's time to be
what
cool
do you
with your friends.
what do you expect from 2014?
Eviction and the end of my existential crisis.
There you go.
Okay.
That says it in a nutshell. Thanks everyone for listening to the Stiff Oddcast. Like, subscribe. This is the April Fool's Day version. This is April 1st, 2014. Alan, any last words before we close it out?
Actually, since it's April Fool's, the joke is that Paul and Rob were portrayed by these highly well-made robots. It's actually AI. Rob Davis actually lives in Florida. Paul Roberts lives somewhere in the Bermuda Triangle. We haven't seen him in 16 years. So that's the joke. Ha ha ha, and eat a dick or something.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
I'm pregnant.